And we are back with a new case. The last one went well, and I also, something I guess clicked in my head, and I started thinking about the old cases as well. And hindsight is always good, but I sort of started thinking about some of the old evidence as well in a new light, where I didn't actually take everything that I could have taken from them, or some of them, which might have been crucial. But now we are hunting for flowers or plants, if I remember correctly. So we're going to Kew Gardens, where someone has stolen plants. It's a long trip. I was just about to think if the game's gonna crash.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
It's rather nice. That building is sort of, I don't know what it reminds me of. Victorian times, which is what these are, I guess. So, alright. First off, let me just take it in. Two people sort of arguing. It's like the younger guy is sort of depressed, and the older guy's just egging him. And, oh, okay.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer, and without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens, and that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack, just like that, so suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
Okay, so that was a lot of information in one go, so I need to look at that a little bit just to make sure I got everything. So, that guy out there, deputy director, he is a piece of work. So there were like places and rooms and then events and a little bit of timeline and stuff. I'll just look at it right now so that we can keep connecting the dots. Near the door to the Colonial Collection, a heart attack just like that. So there's a reserve somewhere. I think we'll learn where it is with a 3D map in a way. I don't know a better way to say that. We'll learn where it is without reading this. Next to the door, right. And I'll look at that later, but just it happened the day after the exhibition. So, or it happened during the night, I would imagine, but it happened between the ending of the exhibition and everybody going home, and then the next day. And they were valuable, so I would imagine because there was an exhibition, everybody knew that they were valuable. Everybody who came to see them knew that they were valuable. But it's one of those sort of specialty thefts, because you need to sort of know how to take care of them and everything. So it's actually maybe the most important point in this, because if they don't live in a natural environment, then they're going to have to be put somewhere and held by someone who knows what's going on. So held by and in professional care, I would imagine, at least to some extent. The receiver also, if it's not the same person, has to also know what they're doing, because otherwise you've just stolen stuff for no reason. It's also strange names. Alright, I'll look at it. I was trying to avoid looking at it. Oh, I can look at it this way, good. Without clicking it yet. I just want to have a look around first. So a carnivorous plant, then a sort of intoxicating plant, then I would guess some sort of diabolical diarrhea plant. No idea. I guess this is like something to do with maybe happy. These names could be totally unrelated to what the plant actually does in a sense, but sometimes they do. And these trees are completely submerged. And no, I was thinking, well, sorta. I was thinking this one is empty.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
Oh shit, yeah, he like really died. So there is a lot going on here.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Fell down, and maybe this sort of shadowy is from the muddy water being either cleaned up or something like that. So he could have just grabbed a flower to sort of, because he's hurting. He grabs a flower and then falls down, hits his head onto that. And this, but that would sort of, I'm not sure where the sign was, but I guess it was right here, and it was sort of, it wasn't a part of the fence, it was rather a sign that was standing, or a stand, rather, for the sign.
Blood.
Blood.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound.
Yes. So, if someone dies in a story in a place where there are plants, it becomes sort of an obvious assumption of poison or some kind of herbs. So let me just so so some type of a herbalist has probably done it, or someone with at least a modicum of knowledge of poisonous plants.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
There's so many of them. 10 plants, all stolen.
Do not touch.
The plants were here. All of them was stolen.
Yeah, I thought there were just a couple of them. So there's a lot of them. And that would sort of... Either they didn't know which exact plant they were sort of getting, in a sense, or they were getting them all for one reason or another. So motive would be sabotage or profit, or of course hiding something, but I don't see that yet, because you don't really, I can't see a reason for it, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. Now, the stand is pretty large, so you know. There's quite a lot of sort of room here to maneuver and stuff. Getting in, I would imagine that roof is glass as well, though it doesn't appear to be so, but I think it probably is. And I think this glass should maybe be see-through, but then because I don't think plants really like the shade that much, but I don't know if it's maybe a game engine limiter or something like that, but well, we'll figure that out. And here's the colonial collection that was mentioned. Let me just have a brief look at it. So it is strange that the plants were stolen, and then, well, no, I mean the other way around. Death, and then theft. Might not have anything to do with each other because people die, but still. Near the door to the colonial collection, that was what it was about. To the glory of the colonial empire, rare and exotic plants in our distant colonies. A couple of doors. I don't really see any way to get in here from the top, though you could. I'll go check the sort of not so obvious first.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
So, light and moisture controls decomposition as well. So, so that is something to keep in mind, and also because the motive can be, we need to figure out what responsibilities in a way the director had that were then transferred to the deputy director, which would enable a theft better, so that we can either exclude the two events from each other, or then have them be in the same sort of chain of events.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
So moisture and temperature. And this one had light, moisture, temperature. Or no, water pH. Parts of hydrogen. I can't remember what pH stands for. Transfieldia. A palm tree. Livistona chinensis, so that's like an African palm tree. Or, well, I would presume, pun intended, that Livingston was elsewhere as well, not just in Africa. Perhaps, I do not know. Cocos nucifera, I thought it was like nutifera. So, water control, and the humidity is controlled by, I would imagine, these vents right here. And the water is, of course, controlled just by hosing, I would imagine. I don't feel like I'm missing something. I don't know why. I got this feeling. Maybe my intuition just saw something and I didn't register. But there's a hose. The table is there. The water comes out of there. The pipe goes around. Maybe that was what I was looking at before. Find the origin source of all these different places. And I'm also looking for places to hide. Because it would be easy to get in here when there is a exhibition, and then stay and then leave because nobody's going to really pay attention. I'm not sure which one is better or worse, but I would imagine that going in and out of a building is more difficult than just going out of a building, depending, of course, I guess, on the circumstances. But
Can I help you, gentlemen?
no, you're fine. Reserve of... Okay, so it's not a game decision. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it is. So we're back out here. What? Oh yeah, because we didn't actually walk into the building. We were transported in here. And they're all different palms, it seems. So So nothing out of the ordinary here. And I don't want to talk to him just yet. Mysterious drama in London. I wonder if those, or I've wondered when I've seen these magazines whether they're actually headlines from the dates, because you sometimes have collections of like negatives or images of magazines from really far back. But yeah, I don't see anything really extraordinary here. Dirty boots and one jacket and one hat, so I would assume that he has his work clothes, work boots separate, although I don't know where he lives. Let's go walk around the outside a little bit, because I think this is going to be maybe, well, sort of an opposite from the last mission. Maybe this will all be in the one location as well, but or you know, between this and Baker Street, but also this area is a lot larger. The other area was limited, but I'll try not to be overwhelmed by it and just focus on the evident. But yeah, there is a lot of room to just hang around and not necessarily places to hide that much, but planting trees, trimming the lawn. No sort of suspicious.
Nursery.
No suspicious areas here.
Locked.
And I think we're going to gain access there later if we need to, or when we need to. I guess this goes into the nursery as well, but I'll just check. Nope. You can drop stuff in there. And you can see into the exhibition from here. And this is on the outside, so it is interesting. And it is something that, well, the world, the game is sort of giving me as well. Wow, this place is huge.
Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory. Reserve. Nursery. Colonial collection. Water lily greenhouse. Dry tropics.
These are really nice.
Seed house. Ventilation system.
I wonder if they have stuff like this. I mean, elsewhere they certainly do, but around here, I don't think they would do. They might somewhere. But this is where he died, and should go and have a look at the dry tropics as well. But I think if we go through the seed house, and I really want to see the ventilation system, because I feel like that's going to be pretty important. And then lastly, we'll go into the office, and then we'll start talking to people about what happened. And I really want to talk last to the douchebag.
Locked. Seed house.
And I would imagine this is locked too.
Nursery.
So these doors can be locked. I would imagine they're not locked now.
There is a smell of burning.
I'll just run over there. I don't think there's any haste, but if I smell burning, I'm running. either towards or away. I'll check the rest out later. And I need to remember there was another sort of place where I should have observed something, but I'll do that later. I just want to get the overview. So I saw there was a door handle.
Door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire?
Indeed.
A protective mask. A protective mask.
It is. Burning, so I would presume
A broom handle was half burned.
I would presume someone's just going to say that
The remains of a picture frame.
that this is just extra crap that, you know, no one needs or wanted, and it was in the way. That is...
The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
because that looks like a carnivorous plant, which was one of the plants in the list. But since I don't know the Latin names... Oh, I missed something because I didn't press the T. Right, so I'll press that in a moment. I'll have a little look around, but there's some... Is that... I'm not sure that even looks like wood because it's sort of shiny. There's a piece of plant there as well. I'm not sure what that is. But I know I'll forget, but I'll come back later because I'm not sure I want to handle too much right now. Because if I get all the really crucial bits, and many of them, then I might miss one of them later on. So let's just go around, have a look, and then I'll try to remember that there's a couple of places too. A couple of places that I need to use the ability in. So there are either fish or frogs or something jumping in the pond. I can't go past this. And as always, it looks a little weird. But as always, there's a wall, but walls don't really stop a person. They stop a person from seeing inside, but they don't really stop a person from getting anywhere. So let's go back here because I ran. I guess that's where like seedlings go, and then you grow them in safe atmosphere. Did I miss something on the map? Oh.
A map of Kew Gardens.
Yeah, that's the obvious kind of stuff. Oh, there's even more? Because it changes color once you've seen everything. Oh, there.
Palm House.
Maybe... No, I was thinking maybe we can see the map in our sort of inventory now, in Sherlock's brain. Watson, please. So much, because I don't know anything about plants really, so I'm sort of desperately looking around to find anything that sort of piques my curiosity, but at the same time I understand that I just don't
Seed. Lock.
that something might seem peculiar to me, but it's not, and then vice versa, where I don't spot something that's just completely out of place. That's looks like a basic well. A lot of water stuff. You can bury things, burn things, it seems, just for the hell of it. Oh, and I do need one thing I need to see a theft of plants. I'm helping a minister, who is an old friend of mine, right? Because I wanted to see who was the one who requested us here. Because it's definitely not the deputy director.
A water tank.
What's that sticking out of it? It's just a pulley, I think. We'll have to get up there. Have a look.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
So I don't really know how this would work, but I would presume you sort of light a fire somewhere and then...
A ventilation.
It's in the staff building, which is weird. And the background looks like... reminds me of really old first-person shooters like Shadow Warrior and stuff. Sort of gives me a homey feeling. But water tank, is this for filling it? That's a rope, or those are ropes. Okay, so I think we have basically everything here, so now we can head on over to... I'll check this door, because I'm not sure if I checked it, but I think it was locked. No, it was not. Dry Tropics. We should go through there and then to the offices. That was the original plan, but I already forgot about the Dry Tropics. So...
Dry Tropics.
Everything sort of decomposes slower in dry climate, and especially if it's, let's say you can, because you have all night in a sense that you have all night to plan everything. So even if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you do have enough time until the next day arrives. So there's room enough for sort of maneuvering and figuring things out. But I wonder how the system works, because I guess it sort of has to, you know, suck the dryness out of here, take the humidity out of here, and then put all the humidity in the other room. So is one of them missing? No, but it looks a bit like...
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes.
So it looks a little bit like it could be from...
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
A little bit could be from, could be the pieces could be from one of these or something similar. So we know that these pots are made elsewhere, so there's a possibility of doing the old switcheroo in some sense, but faking a plant is extremely difficult, I would imagine, unless we're going to find like a really good, what's the word for fraudulent art? I keep forgetting words that I like so rarely use, and the older you get, you just forget. Fake art, fraud, what is the word? Whatever. A lot of cacti here. The pots, don't see much else. And now we should be returning to the
Dry Tropics.
Original area. So temperature and moisture is pretty much the same. I'm not sure.
According to this, they have light and...
I'm not sure of the relation of them. And I would presume this is possibly from like the past or something. It's not like someone plans the humidity sort of like that beforehand. You want it to be stable. Keep walking.
Water lily greenhouse.
And this is the same image that we had here.
According to this...
Oh, I just noticed something. I'm not sure if it is a thing, because now I don't notice it anymore. Let me, because I noticed it somewhere else too, but it might have been here. Or is it this one? No, now they look... I think there was a door that looked different from... Like it was double doors that looked different from each other. But it might have been like a light trick. But let me just have a look, see. Actually, I'll do that. So there's so many doors, so I'll do that while I'm walking around here. But I remember one door looking different than the other. And since we had a burning door handle, we should probably observe the doors. Oh, hello. We definitely should observe the doors. Oh, this is probably what the T is for. Oh, no. It's maybe for this. Let's try it here. Actually, no. Let's go through the office first, and then I'll start doing it, because then we get everything sort of organized.
Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent.
Right. And this is clearly something, and that is clearly something as well.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
You can hide things in there. If you have really, really long rope, you can put stuff in there and pull it out elsewhere. If you're really small-ish... Watson. Nah, I couldn't stuff him up there. Maybe I could. I'm sure these pictures are of somebody. That's definitely from Africa. I don't recognize the shield markings that well. Just seen generic African warriors. He's really sitting down there with his legs open. So, I'm sure there's, mud and dirt everywhere anyway.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
So just looking at things like that is probably not something that is important, but we'll figure it out. So we have Africa, Bengal, Singapore, New Zealand. What does New Zealand have? A Shinto kind of gate on it. Maybe it is not intentional, or they have something similar. Malacca. I have no idea where Malacca is. Alright. Oh, there's more. Calcutta and Sudan. Alright. Now the offices, and we'll figure all this out later, because I do want to get the... Because this door handle is new. And it's right next to here, and it's clearly been sort of bashed. The lock has been forced. The door on the other side looks alright. So onto the offices we go. I thought I would... Maybe it's this. This way is faster. I'm sort of a loss because I was transported here rather than I walked here. So, because now I feel like I'm just heading the wrong way. No, I'm heading the right way now. Now this is the humid part, then there's the middle part, and then there's the dry part on the other side. So he's clearly a douchebag of mighty proportions, but I don't know if... Oh, I think I need to have something to compare it with. But it doesn't mean guilty, but I feel like everything's sort of pointing towards him, and we can't get in there. So we'll take these areas, or explore them later. So this was, I think I'll leave this here because now we have the entire sort of area to, or the map of the entire area in our heads, so that we can sort of keep tracks on what is going on, or what happened where. And I will go and check out the areas next time, and then I will talk to the people once I have gathered everything that I can and what I need. But definitely something suspicious going on here, and I blame him. Not because he's a douchebag only, but because he became the new sort of director, and under his management things are shit. But I'll see you in the next one.